Benjamin. Welcome back to my brother's channel, Guilty Feet.
I've got no rhythm. Sorry, it's the second time I've done that. Okay, this is my brother Benjamin. This is before and after photo. And today we thought Benjamin would do the book year tag that was originated by Criminoli. I believe I'll link to his channel down below. So, Benjamin, hi. These are the questions. Have you read any books published in the year that you were born? If so, what is your favourite and why? Do you have any other favourites? If you haven't read any birth year books, well, I guess we'll get to that. If you, then we'll do the if you haven't. Have you? What books have you read from the year you were born?
So it turns out I've read two. Mm-hmm. One is The Honorary Consul, which is Graham Greene.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I don't remember the books I've read, which I know is just a bit of an anathema in this particular channel. I mean, no. I read
legit.
I read a lot, but then I forget what they were. But I actually
That's nice.
I actually looked at the blurb and then reminded myself that I really enjoyed it. I like the world he builds. I think he's an amazing writer, and there are people cleverer than me that will explain why Graham Greene is so good. But that turns out it was written the year I was born, 1973.
Have you read Other Green?
Yeah.
What have you read? So I haven't read this one.
Other ones.
Okay. I'll tell you.
This is why I don't do a book channel, just so we're clear.
Brighton Rock?
Yeah, I think so.
I read Travels with My Aunt.
Yes.
I've got a lovely film tie-in edition.
Okay.
I think it's Maggie Smith.
Okay.
What else have I read? A couple of other ones. I don't remember.
They're upstairs. I can go and find them. But I have read them and I've enjoyed them.
1973's The Honorary Consul, Graham Greene.
Yeah. The other one, it's possible I actually haven't read it, but it's The Rachel Papers by Martin Amis. But the reason why I thought I'd mention it is because I had a girlfriend that had a cameo was an extra in the movie adaptation of The Rachel Papers.
What?
Yeah. Lucy. Remember Lucy?
Oh, I remember Lucy.
Yeah. Very pretty. She's still very pretty, I'm sure. And she's actually a grandma, which is weird.
Yeah.
I know, right? But I remember her. I don't know whether it was while we dated or before, or she told me. I don't know what. But she had a cameo in the movie. That was with Dexter Fletcher and Iona Skye, I think.
Yes.
I didn't see that. I didn't. I mean, or if I did, I tried to look for my girlfriend. I don't remember.
I never read the Rachel Papers. I've read a bunch of other Martin Amis books. I did a whole video on all the Martin Amis books I've read because I just read his most recent book, Inside Out, which is sort of auto fiction giant thing. It was brilliant, but I never went back and read the Rachel Papers.
Okay, so what was interesting is when I had to look up the books that came out when I was born in 73, and now we'll get to the question about the books that came out when I was 18, 1991.
Spoilers.
Yeah. There were. It's interesting. So Martin Amis was in 1973, was at the top, and as he was in 1991. Which Martin Amis book was released in 1991? Test.
Time's Arrow.
Yes. Another writer, and you could get that. Another writer that appeared that I've read a couple of her books was Penelope Lively. I can't remember the ones, but
Moon Tiger.
No, The Ghost of Thomas Kemp came out in 73.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have read that actually.
Wait, is Moon Tiger Penelope Lively? Or that Penelope Fitzgerald?
And there was another one she wrote.
I've had this
that
before.
came out.
Penelope Lively, not Penelope Fitzgerald.
Okay. Another one that came out in 71, but
The Ghost of Thomas Kemp. That was a school book, right?
Yeah, we read that at school. Actually,
I didn't read it. I think I've read it.
Okay, I think I've got it here, and I actually read it recently because I don't know. I did. I think I read it. I think I picked up. So we have right near where I live. We have there's a place where you can there's a little tent where you can walk in. The people leave books that you can like a little sort of public library. It's amazing.
Where?
Well, it's just in the Sportec over here.
Go.
Yeah. No, seriously, it's called
after this.
A lot of them are Hebrew books. There's a little section of, and there's some French books, and there's a section of English books, and you sort of go in and the things I just pick them up and take them back and read them. And I picked up a Penelope Lively book recently. I think it was Heatwave.
Okay.
Which I really liked.
What's the etiquette on taking all the books and never giving them back?
Well, no one. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
The etiquette.
After this,
we're off.
You're going to show Meredith.
Okay. And so that's 1973.
That's it. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you read any books published in the year you turned 18? If so, what's your favourite and why? Not including Time's
Okay,
Arrow by Martin Amis.
Okay,
Or
so
including Time's
I think I've read that. Don't remember anything about it.
Brilliant.
The book which is by far and away my favourite book of that year, it turns out, which I couldn't remember, but it makes sense that it came out then, and it's probably up there with my all-time favourite things to read, which is Preludes and Nocturnes, which is the first Sandman
Nice.
graphic novel collection with the
Nice.
first issue that came out in 1991 when I was 18, and I can read that over and over and over again. I listened to
the trade paperback came out, or that's when Sandman started.
No, it started in 89, I think. 88 maybe, I don't know. So I've read that over and over again. I've listened to the audiobook. I'm looking forward to the Netflix show when it comes out.
Have you seen the trailer for the Netflix show?
I haven't seen the trailer.
So I just watched it this week. The trailer has whoever it is who's playing Dream,
Right.
who's a name that I've seen, but I don't recognise him. But Charles Dance is Roderick Burgess.
Oh yeah, I think
it's that first scene where with a feather stolen from an angel and with a this I call on you and they work out that they explicit, which I never. It took me a couple of reads of the comic to realise they were trying to summon death. Somehow I missed all that. Right. That was the whole point, that he was trying to summon death. And then it's not like a trailer of clips all the way through. It's literally just that.
Well, the fact that they summon Dream and there are people all over the world that can't fall asleep.
Yeah,
I mean, what would happen if they summoned death? That was the
love.
Yeah, excellent. So that came out then, and that's an all-time great as far as I'm concerned.
Excellent choices. Of the last 10 books you read, how many were published before you were born? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I haven't done this tag, by the way, and I should, but.
Okay, so I look back on. I tried to log all my books on Goodreads, so that was the only way I could figure out what I'd written the last 10 books. And I read 80% of the books I read. He's told me to read, or he's recommended. And
everyone watching is the same,
I guess. But the two of the books I read from and the last 10 books that were before I was born. One was Dune. I read that because the movie came out. People have been telling me to read it for years, and I liked it very much. Not interested in reading any of the other ones, and I haven't seen the movie yet, and I'll wait.
I like the movie. It's one of those decisions I made that I'm probably never going to read the book.
Right. Well, I mean, I understand the movie is the first half of the book. I think we discussed this, and I'll probably watch both movies together. Nice. I mean, there's something very nice about reading a book and then seeing it recreated. And apparently it's recreated very, very well. So I'll look forward to that.
It was very well cast, I think, the movie, and I say that having not read the book. Exactly. I think I rented the first movie from Circle K Videos back in the day and watched that with Sting flying around and Carl McLaughlin and who else is in that? Sting and Carl McLaughlin. It's a cast you don't see often. And what it was completely, the whole thing was utterly incomprehensible.
Which is David Lynch, right?
Yeah, and this movie, I think I went to see something else. I think I went to see Shang-Chi, and it wasn't playing anymore. Right. So I ended up going to see Dune, which I wasn't there. But it is epic, and I'm pleased I saw it on a big screen because it's great. I think Denis Villeneuve is great. You saw Blade Runner 2049? I've had this conversation. I haven't seen the original Blade Runner. Walked into that like an idiot because we've had the same conversation. Yes, my brother has not seen Blade Runner.
Yeah, and what of it? I will one day. The thing is
anyway, I think he's good.
Right. So the things about Dune is that people love it. And I'm always want to know, why do people really love something? You sort of want to say, what's the, and sometimes you watch it and you go, still don't understand why they love it. And sometimes you go, okay, I get that. I get why it's so important to them. Yeah. And I get that from the book.
I think I'm more invested in this version of Dune because it came down, it was down to me and Timothée Chalamet, who were the last two up for that role. And he got it. I was okay. I'm a little disappointed because I've been doing jaw exercises to tighten up my. Anyway, but good for him. I know.
So the other book that I read, yes, the other book that I read that was written and released before I was born was an Ed McBain. I mean, I'll say it's See Them Die because with the Ed McBain series of 87 Precinct novels, the titles are kind of relevant. You remember Fuzz? Well, you know what that's about, but because there's just so many of them, and they're all brilliant. And
so when was this one written?
Before I was born. I'm not clear from the question.
No, but when? Because I must have read it then. It must be one of the ones I've read.
You passed 73?
I think so. I think I'm up. Yeah, I'm up to like 37 out of 50.
Okay.
So I think I'm already into the 80s.
Can I just upset you again? I just picked up one.
I know.
That was written in the year 2000 without reading the ones beforehand.
Okay, this is a contrast in
families.
Because I will only read them in the order of publication, and this crazy person to whom I'm blood related will pick up any old one at any point in the series and read it.
So I said to him, I actually turned up at a second-hand bookshop, like a charity bookshop, and there were like 8 Ed McBain novels for like 4 shekels, which is a pound, or a little bit less than a pound, and I got them, and I'm trying to figure out what to read in order, because even if I haven't read them all in order, I should kind of read. I didn't. I'm having that one. I said, "Oh no, that's like whatever." And anyway, I think See Them Die wasn't one. See Them Die was a late '60s one.
Okay, so I must have read it, but you're right that the titles become less. And like there's runs of titles, right? There's some of them he did a bunch with one-word titles.
Yeah.
And then there are some that have got these sort of allusions to fairy tales, and that.
I really, really love them. I really love them.
Yeah.
You know, when I was looking through my the other series that Daniel got me into was the John D. MacDonald.
Yeah.
Which is Travis McGee. Gosh, he's great, and I actually did a lot of those on audio. I don't know whether is that allowed here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
People love it.
It's all good. You can, and the reader of the Travis McGee novels on audio is great. And
do you know who it is? The same. All the ones you've written to order, same.
Yeah. You know, it's that knowing what you're going to get and knowing that the quality is within a few percentage points going to be just up there all the time, and it's comfort reading or listening in the best way possible.
Have you read the new Richard Osman?
I mean, so I'm now reading that on Kindle, which
the second one.
Yeah.
I just read it last July.
It's cute. It's
so fantastic.
I know. I agree.
All righty, thank you. Great. So we're on to
movies.
1 second. Yes. What's your favourite movie from your birth year and why?
Okay, so 73 was a great year for movies.
What won the Oscar in 73? Is it The Sting?
Yeah.
Or Godfather Part 2? The Sting?
No, Godfather Part 2 was 74, I think.
Right, so 72 is Godfather, 73 is Sting, 74.
It's actually a really, really good...
Sting is genius.
Yeah, it's a really, really good year for movies. There's Mean Streets and all sorts of Badlands, all sorts of these classic movies. It's an easy one for me, though, was Live and Let Die.
Oh, yes.
Big Bond fan. I mean, I've watched those movies millions and millions of times. Live and Let Die, obviously, it was the first.
Solitaire, Mr. Big.
Yeah.
Mr. Kananga.
Mr. Kananga, exactly. It's kind of creepy. Roger Moore is before he got a little bit silly.
And it's the sheriff chewing tobacco, and he go
Clifton James, Sheriff J.W. Pepper. And Jane Seymour is just really, really beautiful. I mean, it's one that it's a lot of fun, and so that to me it means something.
This is pre-Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Like
many years before.
Yeah, I mean, can you sense that she's going? After she gets through this whole message mixed up with all this, the voodoo world and the Haitians, do you get the sense that she's going to eventually find fulfillment on the frontier?
I think there were hints.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And then your favourite movie from the year you turned 18 and why?
1 second. Okay, so 1 second. Can I go back to something we forgot to mention?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there was
no rules there.
Okay, honourable mention for a book that came out in 1991 that I never read, but I tried to. Is Madonna Sex? It's one of those things that I would never have had the guts to buy it, first of all, but you'd sort of wander into HMV and try and find the one that wasn't cellophane wrapped, and
Are you
then
sure it came out in 91?
that's what it says. Yeah.
Because so I remember when I was doing my postgrad in journalism, I thought it came out, which is 92, and someone bought it. It was expensive then. It came sealed in a foil thing.
Yeah. Irritatingly.
It was a ring-bound book. It came sealed. There was no way to preserve it because there was no way to sort of cut the seal and keep it. Once you cut it, you lost the metallic wrapper. And I remember seeing it was around it's all the iconography in the book is sort of Justify My Love era, that music when she was very sexy and all bondaged up and PVC and stuff. And the book was there was some nudity in it. It was quite sexy. That book
was all nudity. That was the whole point.
It's very, very collectible.
Well,
people who got it, those books go for a lot of money.
I remember being in shops like HMV or could have been Virgin Megastore, and you sort of find one that wasn't wrapped. Maybe it was the display model, but and you'd want to look through it, but then you'd want to.
It's top shelf material.
Well, even if it wasn't, even if it was acceptable top shelf material, it was. I was, So it's an honourable mention to that book that I never read. And
if you're wearing a kippah, it's not a good look.
No, it's
but we've all been there. That was. But it was 30 quid. It was like beyond. I wasn't buying hardback books then, and this was a high-end coffee table hardback book. So it wasn't just on, and it was pervy.
Yeah. Which is why, as an 18-year-old, it was something that was.
But the beauty is, if you had bought it now, if you had bought it then, now you could claim that you'd spotted an early collectible. You bought it from the investment.
Never been
you bought it for the art.
Never been accused of spotting anything early collectible.
Okay, question 5, last question.
Yeah.
What is your favourite movie from the year you turned 18 and why?
Okay, so so honourable mentions to Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, which is great, and I loved it, and I can watch that again and again.
Yeah.
But the correct answer is The Last Boy Scout.
Oh, it's a fine choice.
I know you'd like that. I'm sure you told me to watch it at one point.
Last Boy Scout is maybe one of the.
It's Shane Black scripted.
Yes.
Tony Scott directed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bruce Willis being the best Bruce Willis ever, because we love Bruce Willis and always have done.
Touch me again, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. And he did.
Yeah, it's one. I think it's a perfect action movie.
Yeah,
I think it's up there with Die Hard, with The Untouchables, that era of and maybe we were at an age where we were receptive to these things.
That's exactly what the point is. It's just I showed it to my kids as well. Actually, they loved it.
Joe Hallenbeck.
Yeah,
right. That's the character. Oh, everything. I love that. It's a great choice.
Yeah, and honourable mention to the movie that I've also watched recently that is lots of fun, which is Toy Soldiers.
Yeah. I think I've watched that again. I think
That was
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, yeah, and the school gets taken over by terrorists, and he and a few of his friends defeat the terrorists, and it's maybe that was the right age. I was just finished high school, and it was just like, God, that's so cool. Wouldn't I could do that, right?
Yeah. See, I don't think I've ever revisited Toy Soldiers, but for me, I guess the equivalent movie for me would be Red Dawn, which we saw in the cinema when it came out, and that was the Russians parachute into America, and the Wolverines, and they all go off and hide in the woods.
Yeah, well,
but see, Toy Soldiers is a great example of a movie that's been ruined by a song.
Martika.
Yeah. Every time I think of Toy, I don't think I've seen Toy Soldiers since.
Well, the song's ruined by the movie. I mean, I thought
I think the song came out later.
It's a great song.
Yeah, but now anytime you talk about Toy Soldiers, I don't think Sean Astin. I think Step by Step. Anyway, we all fall down like Toy Soldiers. Benjamin, thank you very much. It's a good answer. And that's all. I'm going to put this up on Tuesday, I think, for Tag Tuesday. So that was birth year book tag.
It's Friday now, so if you're waiting, that's why.
Yeah, sorry for waiting. Thank you, Criminally. Thank you everyone else to do this. I'm not tagging anyone because lots of people have done it, but this is my brother Benjamin. God bless. Bye.